eat like slaves anymore because we're not slaves. If you cannot control what you eat, then you cannot control what you feel. Eat your largest meals in the middle of the day, not the end of the day.
What part the homeostasis plays, you're on your way to healing yourself. The homeostasis is the internal environment where your body is at its ultimate functionality for healing. Just keep in mind that everything that is happening to you is happening for
you. Woo! Yes. Hello, Zarithians. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome to the Mind of Nature. My name is Carolyn Gentle, and today's topic is healthy eating for busy lifestyles. Thank you all so much for joining us. As you're coming in, please share the live. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and also on Instagram. So thank you all so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you all for being here. And again, if you're on the YouTube channel and you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's Dr. Farid Zarif. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel. All right. Now, let me introduce you to not just another brother, but a brother like no other. Dr. Zarif. Hello. Join us on the stage. There you are. Hello.
I'm still partying. This is still my birthday. You know what I mean? The whole month. I'm rocking it the whole month. Yeah. Can you hear the funk?
Well, you know.
Everybody, what's going on? This is really great. Thank you, Carolyn, for that great intro.
You're very welcome.
I'm really glad to be here. We're going to talk about some really wonderful some things that can pretty much help you with this fast-paced kind of lifestyle, okay? And what I'm going to do is to we'll go back and forth with this to see if we can get some kind of resolution to it. And we're talking about the way that we eat too fast. We got to slow down. We eat too much. You know, we do a lot of things that we overdo it. So we want to talk about those things. So welcome, everybody. It's so great to be here. Before we get into it, Carolyn, what's up with you?
Oh, I mean, I'm just really, you know what? It's funny. My sister, her birthday is coming up.
Woo-hoo. And which one?
I know how I got many of them. Chantel's birthday is coming up in March. And she was like, ooh, let's take a family photo. I'm like, uh-oh. I got to get on this treadmill and get it, get ready for it. So what's so funny is I'm thinking, okay, I want to make sure I get, ready for this photo shoot. And it's funny because sometimes I know we're supposed to be thinking about all the time, making sure we're in the best health that we can be. But when she said that, it just like put a fire under me for me to say, you know what, let me go ahead and get my workout on like I said I would, because now and see that is actually a good way to do things, because now there's a date. I know that there's a date that's set that she wants us to be able to have this thing done. So when you ask me that, I'm like, working out. That's what's going on with me right now.
Do you think do you think that you'll continue working out even after that, or do you one of those people that you got to have like, you don't clean up the house until you're gonna have company?
Well, no, I definitely will continue to. I've actually been working out before, but I want to make sure I stay on track with that. I know you're looking like, but yes, I do. I want to stay on track with that to make sure that that's something that I keep in my regimen, something that I'm always doing, So absolutely. Let me go ahead and shout out.
Are you sure you're convinced? I don't know.
No, really, I am. I really am.
Okay, go ahead and do your shout outs. Thanks a lot, Kelly.
No problem. I'm gonna go ahead and shout out. Hey, Shirley, Gentle Smart. Good morning. Shirley. Good morning. Good morning. Shanizi, good morning. I am headed out the door. Well, be safe out there, Shanizi, and happy Saturday to you as well. Thank you so much. Michael Carlisle. Hello, brothers and sisters. Hello, hello, Michael Carlisle. Great to have you here. And that's here in YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, so is that we got everybody? Thank you, everybody, for being here today, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for passing this message on to other people, and of course, Carolyn, always happy to have you. You're kicking it off now. Well, we production is in action. I love it. So. Let's get right to it. And those of you that like to come up, just simply send us a message and we'll get you up here so that you can participate in what we're talking about today, because it's one of those things we always I want to bring you things that you can use that day. So it's not like, these are just some of the things that we want to talk about. This is Black History Month, and speaking about Black history, here's one of my first or my favorite sayings, quote, and it's by one of our Black future, or now I mean our current Black leaders, if I get the words together here. And she said, have you noticed that an attorney tries and a doctor practices? So the attorney will try you and the doctor practice. Doctors practice, an attorney tries, like a trial, right? So tries and practice. And that was, I just heard this yesterday. We were just having a discussion. And she said, you ever notice that an attorney tries and a doctor practice? The woman that I'm talking about is Carolyn Gento, 2024. Hey, that's right. We got to make our own. We got to make our own celebrities. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Zari.
Oh, you got it. Consistently eating fast can have lasting effects on your overall body and well-being. And some of the short-term effects include excessive bloating and elevated blood pressure, increased blood sugar levels, and decreased nutrients to the body. So when you're rushing and you got to get back to work and you don't have enough time to stop and eat, change your schedule. Change your schedule to allow you more time. There's a lot of things that downsides from eating. We'll go over some of those things, but there's definitely a difference between rushing and moving rapidly. Moving rapidly, you can get it done, especially if moving rapidly comes with a plan. You need to have a strategy. Everything requires a strategy, having a strategy just for a higher thinking person. But if you don't have a strategy and you don't have the understanding between rushing and just being busy or doing something fast, you will run into a problem because usually when we look at getting things done rapidly, we want to be prompt, we want to be effective. But when you're rushing, it's usually on the premise of fear. So you're rushing, don't rush, because when you're rushing, you're doing it on that premise of fear. You want to be encouraged, and you want to be courageous, and you want to be confident. That is when you are moving rapidly or being efficient and understanding the different steps to take in order to reach these particular objectives. The bottom line is that we just eat too fast, period. This behavior is also known as a food mistake. And just like any other mistake, it's opportunity to grow and to learn from our missteps. Now, the order of these food mistakes can vary from person to person, simply because we have different lifestyles, we have traditions, and we also have different beliefs. Some of the effects of not repairing the food mistakes include a negative impact on your health, how you perform, and how you function, how you look, how you feel. Um, all of these are a part of eating or moving too fast. You have to slow down to be more effective, and you also reduce a lot of mistakes that we make. But one of the mistakes that we make is eating too fast and eating too much when we do eat. Here we're gonna cover some of the most common weight loss mistakes that people make with food and the effects of poor eating habits on their body. Now, since the body is made from food, it seems like it would be absolutely imperative that you consume foods that promote the optimum body functioning. But no, most people don't do that. We still eat because of satiety. We eat according to our cravings, and we eat according to our habits. Well, the problem is what should you eat, and when should you eat, and what is the proper portions. So we get back to the eating thing. And these messages are just for people that want to improve their eating, and you're probably not there if you haven't had any problems with your digestive system, with bloating, with gastritis, with flatulence. You're not going to really even hear this, because your craving for certain food and drink is so intense that it pretty much negates the health of the food or the benefits of the food. So I understand if you don't get it, but you will, unfortunately, if you have a very difficult time with digesting food, if you start to regurgitate food and don't know exactly why you're doing it, if you have some kind of esophageal reflux, if you have all these different things that you will get because you're not taking the new information and using that, applying the new information to your life. So therefore, you end up running into something that you don't necessarily have to run into, like a stone that hasn't been removed, and that's what leaders are for. Now, the good news is that the nutritional science is advancing in leaps and bounds, and this can now provide people with some of very good, healthy eating guidelines to follow, and which is very important, because this also helps with some of your physical goals. These healthy eating guidelines, they show people the sorts of food that they should eat every day if they want to lose weight, or to get in shape, or to improve their health, or of course to feel great, as well as to avoid the effects of bad eating habits. So let's move on to the very beginning of your day. How are we eating, and why do we skip meals? Are they important? Well, I think that they're important because your body is resting through the night. Your body is still, metabolism doesn't ever stop. Metabolism is always breaking down things and allowing things to be distributed throughout the body. But skipping meals is one of the first strategies that many people employ when they want to lose weight, whilst reducing food intake will assist in fat loss and weight loss. And when we say fat, I don't use that kind of language. Oh, that fat person. I don't use that language. But when a person is overweight, a person is obese,
you still have a chance to turn that around. What happens is because we're so cling to this entertainment, that sometimes we take on the attitude of, I just want to be seen. I just want people to think I'm cute. I just want people to know that I can twerk and I can mix it up. But what happens is that you start taking on the load or the weight of people that you don't even know, because you are convinced that you want to convince people that you're fine, or that you want to influence the people that you're in the know and the people that you know, and that kind of thing. So anyway, it's all about you. It comes down to you. And this, when it comes to eating certain foods, it's very important to reduce the output of thyroid hormones. Is very, and when I say this, remember, I want you to remember, I'm talking in the category of skipping meals. The human body has many contingency plans in place to overcome it. But you need to have that food in place because of your energy. When you skip that food, skip these meals, it reduces its outcome of thyroid hormones, which slows down metabolism. It increases the production of cortisol. Now, cortisol is also a hormone that, especially when we're in fight and flight, when we're in that sympathetic nervous system mode, that's what we're producing. Cortisol, also known to produce more weight around your waist or more fat around your waist, the lipids, as we call them, which breaks down the muscle, and it slows the metabolism even further. The body also increases appetite, so that when you do eat, you tend to overeat. You wait too long, and then you overeat when you do eat, because you're famished. And guess what? When you're eating in that way, you're eating or storing all of the extra energy. The large meal equals a large amount of calories that we're taking in. And when you do that, your body just doesn't burn them. You're either going to burn that energy or you're going to store it. And those of us that are overweight, what's happening between your thighs and what's happening in your hips and that lower belly that hangs over. Those are some of the telltale signs, or these are the markers that you can use to benefit you, and to let you know, hey, you know what? I better step up my game. Don't be afraid to measure yourself or to weigh yourself, because these are ways that you can manage the way that you look and the way that you feel. A lot of times we have this fat thing, a lot of people, I understand it. I understand, I'm a grown man, and I understand what it is to be sexy and to look good and to look like, somebody's interested in you. And I understand that, because we all want that kind of attention. We want people to say, wow, look, she looks good. Wow, he looks good. A lot of people, we love that kind of attention. However, when you're getting attention by hurting yourself or slowing yourself down or tripping yourself up, then you're doing something that doesn't make any sense. Especially when you're talking about being a healthier person. Health is that true wealth, and that is when you're making the choices to make you a healthier person. Now, we simply eat, much more than what we should be eating. Every meal does not have to be an event. And we keep saying that over and over, every meal doesn't have to be an event. You can eat a very small amounts of food, and you can satisfy your appetite by eating a handful of nuts or a handful of dried fruit as a snack. If we get into chips and ice cream and sodas and all that, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So that's what we want to do. We want to get rid of that. Now, how do we fix what we call the food mistake? Well, by far, the eating according to your circadian rhythm is the most scientifically effective way to eating to this date. This is the way that we should be eating our daily meals, from the first meal that we eat all the way to the last meal that we eat. And I reiterate this because I want you to know it by heart, that breakfast is super important. Breakfast is so important because it actually gets you started in the day. So when you don't eat, what happens is that you then are more susceptible to an imbalance, meaning that our body is constantly working on being balanced, equipoise, a point where both sides are matching. This is a balance. Equilibrium is super important, and we can't have what is called homeostasis. Those health care professionals that are listening with us today know what I'm talking about. That is very important, that you have the balance, because when you don't have a balance, that's when you become more vulnerable to illness and disease, infection, and death. So I'll say that again. When you don't eat in a balanced way, then when you're not balanced, you are more vulnerable to infection, to illness, to disease and death. You're vulnerable to those things. That means that you increase the chances of those particular things. Now, right now, you might be feeling good. Nothing's wrong with me. I've never been to the hospital before. And, you might feel like that. And I eat anything. And you might be saying that. But believe me, you can get by, but you can't get away. This is one thing, that you are the things that, the saying, you are what you eat, but you are what you digest. And whatever you're digesting, that is going to become a part of you. Now, a healthy approach is to eat 5 to 6 meals every 2 to 3 hours. That's the bottom line. Now, if you say, oh, that's too much food, it's not too much food. It's too, the portions are just too large. If you're saying it's too much food, because you need to reduce the amount of food that you're eating per meal. One of the most deleterious actions that you can take as far as eating is concerned is that when you eat late and you eat just a couple hours before you go to bed, or you eat and then you go to bed, this is very hard on your system, including your heart and your brain. And it really enforces, or it really is something that you can rid. You can get rid of that particular habit and start reaping the benefits right away. Of course, the biggest object, and most people will have to do, the biggest problem is that they'll say things like what they're used to doing: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks between. I have no problem with that. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner can be made very wholesome also. Your breakfast in the morning, we're not going to do that, go back and forth about that, because breakfast is breaking that fast. That's the very first thing. Did you know that you have your blood pressure is high in the morning? You have a lack of energy that's why we say eat some fruit, drink some water, or have a nice small bowl of hot cereal. This is how you get going. Not with just coffee, ladies and gentlemen, not with just coffee. We need to make the decisions as far as how we get ourselves in motion. So a smoothie and some other things like that, we'll talk about that as we go along. We don't want you to overdo it when it comes to a smoothie, because smoothie, again, is just so much sugar. Most people make those smoothies too large, and they're taking in too much sugar, and this is causing all kinds of negative effects, because the sugar is in the blood, the glucose is in the blood now. That's blood sugar, and it's too much. let's move on to a little more information here. I want to go into, I started off talking about the skipping of meals. Now let's talk about smoothies, because some people love smoothies. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons of smoothies, like why some people just eat smoothies and that's it. So let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. Some of the pros and cons of smoothies. Like, first of all, let's go to pros. The pros, number one, nutrient retention. Smoothies typically retain more of the fiber and the nutrients from fruit and vegetables because they use the whole ingredient, including the skin and the pulp. Now, next, let's go to satiety. Now, satiety, the fiber in the smoothies, they help you to feel fuller, so you don't have to drink as much. But people do gulp these things down. Believe me, these large cups and glasses and containers, making them a good choice for meal replacement or a snack that can keep you satisfied. But again, small portions. Now, I have like a smoothie here that I had before I started, and you notice, see, it has just a little bit here. I didn't fill it up, but I like a big glass. Maybe it's a guy thing, but when you're drinking it, just keep it low, and that's for all of your juicing. So I'm going to go over some for juicing also. So again, remember the fiber in the smoothies that helped you to have that satisfy that fullness, satiety as it's called. Customization is important because this is one of the pros, because the customization meaning that you can do it the way you want to do it, add what you want to add to it, including like protein powder, your greens, and your superfoods. And then we have digestion. Now, the fiber in these smoothies, they can aid in digestion. The digestion is really important because the fiber that you're eating also, the reason that these foods are fibers is because they don't digest, or only part of that food is digested. The rest of the food becomes what we know as fiber. Hydration. Smoothies can help with hydration, especially if you use hydrating ingredients like coconut water and water-rich fruit. The high water-containing food are in the class of fruit. So when you eat fruit and all that juice, that's when you're getting the kind of reward from eating the fruit, because it is replenishing the water that your body uses. Let's go through some of the cons, and we're talking about the cons of smoothies now. Now, first of all, let's look at the calories. If you're not mindful of the portion, as I keep repeating, and the ingredients, smoothies can be calorie dense. That means that they can be potentially leading to weight gain if you consume it in excess. So you can be drinking what you think is healthy, but if you drink too much of it, it can actually be affecting you in a negative way. Next is the sugar content. Some smoothie recipes can be high in sugar, especially if they include a lot of fruit or sweetened yogurt. Now, some people use yogurt. That's cool, but yogurt in small amounts, and I would suggest non-dairy yogurt. You get the same vibe without the other downsides of dairy. And a lot of fruit is not necessary. 3 at the most, maybe 4. Squeeze in 4, okay? Like a pear, banana, you might have a few grapes in there, and whatever your 4th choice is. But you can keep them very simple. I use bananas as a base because it's nice and creamy. I like the texture. Find out what it is that you like, and remember, it does not have to be an event. Dun, 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 dun.
It doesn't have to be an event. It can be keeping yourself refreshed, giving yourself the energy to get out into the day, and that's what it's all about. When it comes down to preparation time, you got to figure out how much time that you're spending to make a smoothie and how much time it's going to be in cleaning it up and that kind of thing. So that is to clean the blender or the food processor, and that takes time. So you might want to consider that. And then oxidation is important too, because smoothies may start to lose some of their nutrients if they are not consumed immediately due to the exposure to oxygen. So you want to make the smoothie and then you want to ingest the smoothie. Now we're at the half hour point, and we're going to bring Carolyn Gentle back up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif, and thank you to everyone here that has joined us here in the Mind of Nature. The topic today is healthy eating for busy lifestyles. If you have not already, please share the live. And also, if you haven't liked the live, like the live, please. Allison Gentle, thank you for liking the live. Mary Ellen Hicks, thank you so much for liking the live. If you're on YouTube, you can just hit that thumbs up little icon at the bottom, and that lets me know that you've liked the live. Thank you if you've already liked the live over on YouTube and on Instagram as well. Everywhere we are streaming right now, please make sure to like the live. Some people may ask, Dr. Zarif, how can we help? How can we be a part of the growth? And the way you can do that is by sharing. And that's why I would always say share the live out, invite people in. You can also like the lives and just comment. Those are things that lets social media know that, hey, there's something great going on over there. Let me go ahead and send some other people out. So just in case anyone was wondering, oh man, how can I help? You can help by doing those things for us. And we really appreciate likes, comments, and shares. Again, thank you all so much for joining us here in the Mind of Nature. The topic is healthy eating for busy lifestyles. So it's been some great information so far, Dr. Zarif. I'm going to bring it back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Carolyn. We're going to talk about some other things as we go along, but I have to stop and say thank you, Shanizi and Cheryl Lee. We got, thank you, Michael. Oh man, that's my brother. Thank you for being here today. And we have Charlie is here. Charlie Castine, thank you so much for being here. One of the smartest women on the planet. You talking about an incredible person. Thank you for being here, Char. And we got Dr. Cher Stefan. Thank you as always. You are wonderful. I'm so happy that you grace us with your presence practically every week, and I love that. Thank you so much. We also have Michelle Gento in the house. Good morning to you too. Thank you very much for being here. Give big old hugs to the children for us. We have Mary Allen Hicks. Thank you. And Mary has a question. What about those shots that people are using for weight loss? Well, those shots that people are using for weight loss is coming to a slow stop. They're still going wild on it, but people have been getting sick and people have been in critical condition because of those shots that people are taking to manage their weight. So yeah, that's what usually happens. Remember, redux happened. The same thing happened when the medication redux was out, and then fen-phen, the same thing happens. The atrial valve dysfunction, all of those things. In due time, it'll come out like that. People are desperate to lose weight, so they take the chance, and unfortunately, some of them they don't live to tell it. But I'm always just cheering for people that want to do better for themselves. But
We have to just do, those are some of the things we have to, you might find something, a way that you can ingest, eating less, following is so very hard to talk to you about eating correctly, because it produces euphoria. It makes you feel great. So who am I or anybody else to tell you what to eat and what not to eat? You want to eat what makes you feel good. Period. That's just the way it is. We got Allison Gento in the house. Mr. Gento, thank you very much for being here. Oh man, tell everybody down there. I know you're probably working today, but really appreciate you taking time to be here today. Yolanda Rogers, thank you so much. Good morning, blessings. Tuned in from, she's from Dearborn, Michigan over there. Oh wow, that's one of the citizenship there. That's where the most Arabic speaking people in the United States congregate. So wow, that's great. Dearborn. I remember when I was a child in Detroit, Dearborn was like the suburb and where all the rich people live. It's probably still like that. Denise Kane is in the house. Denise, yes. Oh man, I'm so glad that you're here. I am so glad that you made time. Denise and I get up early and work out, and I'm just so glad that you're here. Andre, little brother, thanks for being here. Thank you very much. And the rest of you here, that I'm going to come back over here. I know there's some questions to be asked here. I wanted to take a little time because you are very important, and I'm glad that you're here. We have Sky Aim Productions. Thank you for being here as always. We have Salem BMZ. Thank you so much for being here. White Snow 37, and I'm Leone, along with Eva Zubor. Eva Zubor, thank you very much for being here, everybody. Let me get back over here. We got Kyle. Kyle, what's going on, man? Thank you very much. I'm glad that you stopped by to say hi. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Let me say, Kyle, we go way back. This is one of my favorite martial artists, and he's brilliant. I mean, this man is, I think he can build a computer and then strip it back down and put it back together another way. Incredible brains. Yolanda, wow, no shots were natural is always better. Let me see, gotta put, you got to put in the work. Yolanda's just saying, as far as the question about and the comment about the shots people are using. Yeah, a lot of times those quick fix things just don't work. I just leave it like that. Detroit, homegrown Detroiter for life. There you go, Yolanda. All right, everybody, let's get back to it, okay? And if you have any questions at the end, just let me know. But this is, again, we're talking about the pros and cons of juicing. Some people feel that because they juice, hey, I'm juicing and I'm doing the right thing. And, well, let's see about that. Juicing, I juice and I use smoothies. But again, don't make that a big deal. Every time you eating and drinking, it doesn't have to be an event. You can take little by little, and with that attitude, that behavior, it becomes more beneficial. Let's move on. Let's talk about the pros of juicing. First, we talk about nutrient concentration. Juices can provide a concentrated source of vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables as the fiber is removed. Okay, so you would get more of the vitamins and minerals, except the fiber is removed. There's different types of juicers, by the way. Some of the juicers, I know one is called the centrifugal force, juicers. And this type of juicer, it takes the fruit and vegetables through a feed tube and directly into contact with a blade that sheds them. The juice from the fruits and vegetables is thrown by the centrifugal force of the spinning basket toward the sides of the basket and is pushed through it into a jug or a glass. That's centrifugal force juicer. Another type of juicer is called the masticating, like when you masticate, and chewing. That's just chewing. Now, making use of a single gear. This just usually has one gear. That spiral in shape, masticating juices press and chew or masticate fruits and vegetables as they are fed into a tube. The juice is slowly extracted and collected in a container that fits under the gear shaft, and the pulp is continuously ejected at the end of the gear shaft into a pulp container. Masticating. So that's another. Some people rather have the masticating than the centrifugal force. And then there's another one. It's called triturating. And that's triturating. Triturating is single. It's similar to masticating. It's a single gear juicer. The triturating juicer has two of these gears. Like the masticating has one, triturating has two gears, and they're called augers, and it separates the juice from in two stages. First, it crushes the juice and vegetables. Then it presses the juice out of them. Again, the first thing that happens is it crushes the fruits and the vegetables. Then it presses the juice out of them. This method of extracting juice releases more soluble fiber, enzymes, vitamins, and trace minerals from pulp, making the juice extremely nutrient rich. Now, some of these juicers actually have technology to slow down the oxidation process, which is important if you want the juice a day's worth of juice, and you put it up, you store it for later on use. Remember, we talked about earlier to avoid excessive oxidation, you eat or drink that particular juice right away. So there you have it. So there's those three different ones, the different types of blend of juicers. All right. Now, the other good pro about the juicing is that there's quick absorption. The lack of fiber in juice allows the nutrients to be absorbed by the body more quicker. When you have a lot of fiber in food, one of the setbacks is that it slows the absorption of that particular food and its nutrients. Next, a variety of ingredients. You can create a wide range of juice combinations and suit the taste, just like I was talking about earlier, customization. So you can actually create an incredible range of taste and styles and what you add to it. Hydration, just like smoothies, juices can contribute to hydration, especially made with hydrating fruits and vegetables. So if you get watermelon, for instance, or Crenshaw melon, or you have cantaloupe, honeydew, those kinds of fruit, you can be more creative, but you can also hydrate your body while you're being creative. And I think another one I would add in here would be detoxification. Now, detoxification, there's some things that we talk about there when it comes to detoxification, because are we really detoxifying, or are you just having a case of diarrhea? Are you taking different laxatives causing your food to be evacuated? Now, some people use juice cleansers as a way to detoxify the body. Although the science evidence supporting this is very limited. So, but people use detoxification. It's a buzzword. And so when people go through fasting, or if they have a good bowel movement, and then they have followed by other soft waste, soft waste, then they feel, it's a feeling, it's feel like, oh, I'm clean. I got rid of all that stuff. When, we know that your lower intestine is never clean, in a sense that it's just totally empty. You can do some things that they do overnight you can use to get out some of the waste, to allow the cameras now, when you have, for instance, a colonoscopy and other procedures, is very important. Okay, we're almost there, everybody. Let's go on. Here, I'm going to talk to you about the cons of juicing. First, the loss of fiber. Juicing removes most of the fiber from the juice and the vegetables, which can lead to a quicker spikes of blood sugar and less satiety. So the blood sugar spikes because when you juice and you're removing that fiber, then you have more sugar. See, that fiber in those sweet vegetables and those sweet fruit, they actually balances out and reduces the amount of sugar released in your blood. So that's very important. And remember, just because it's fruit doesn't mean that it's just safe. You can eat as many as you want to. And I've heard that comment before. There's nothing that you can eat or drink like that, because if you overdo water, you can overdo juice, you can overdo tea, you can overdo honey, you can name this the beans. Beans, you can't be hurt. If you overdo anything that you ingest, I think you get the point. So let's go on more to cons. The calories. Again, we talk about the calorie intake, the caloric intake. Some juices can be calorie dense, especially if they contain a lot of sweet fruits. That's where you really get most of the calories from, leading to potential weight gain if not consumed mindfully. So if you're having a problem with weight gain, brothers, if you got that 44-inch waist, it's time to get serious. You got to step up. Your game is suffering now. You need to get on to a plan, set a strategy where you will eat less, where you would definitely start to eliminate those sugary foods, where you would get more rest, and where you would exercise on a daily basis. Start off with 2 minutes. Yeah, start off with 2 minutes. I know you're saying, I can do it. Start off with 2 minutes and be consistent with it. Show yourself that you can do it, that you can be consistent with it. Everybody can do this. Everybody can chit chat. But when it comes to taking care, you you can chat, but you gotta cut that chit out. Okay, next, I'm getting carried away here. Expense. Now the expense, and this is a con for juicing. The expense of juicing, it can be expensive. It can be expensive. Now you can go to a farmer's market. There are other food programs, and if you arrange that program, and you organize that program where you're using the vegetables and the fruit, and you're distributing, or you are giving that out to people, or some kind of way you balance that out, that's cool. But if you're just going to the store every time you want a juice, you will find it can be rather expensive. Okay, I juice a few times a week, and let me tell you, it can make a difference. But you gotta know how to shop too. Lastly, the equipment. The equipment of juicing requires specialized. Requires one of those that we talked about today. The centrifugal force, and then masticating, and the different types of. They have different types of machines, and the way that they look, and all that. And it can run it. It can cost you a little bit. Now, the last thing I wanted to, one of the cons would be your waste. And that is that the juicing produces a significant amount of pulp waste. which some people find environmentally concerning. Now, if you're organized where you can take the carrots that's shredded and make some carrot cookies, carrot muffins, carrot cake, dessert, that kind of thing, go for it. But if you're just making stuff and then you're throwing away all that good, all those nutrients, that's what's considered the waste. All right, we only have a couple of minutes, so we're just going to go ahead. I wanted to go over this as far as, because we're still talking about when you rush, when you're eating fast. When you eat too fast, you swallow more air, which causes your body your stomach bloats, and you have flatulence or gas. So many times when you're passing a lot of gas, it's not just the beans. It's not just something that you ate. It is how fast you ate it, because you're sucking in that air instead of plan to eat. Have a strategy to be still. Don't be interrupted by, all these different disturbances. Make sure that you plan. I am going to eat here and I'm going to eat peacefully. Now, some people love to eat and talk, eat and talk, eat and talk. That's the way that some people's lives run. But if you can, I want you to make a decision not to do that. You have a little chat here and there, little chat, but this isn't the time you have a meeting when you're eating. So it can reduce some of those things, slowing down to properly chew your food or to masticate. And masticate is not a bad word for those. I know that you know better, but there are people that get masticate. They interfere that with masturbate. So it's masticate is to chew. It's just like some people get confused when we say prostate versus prostrate. And you have many people that think that I'm speaking about to prostrate is to bow, like in prayer, a position in which you are meditating. That's prostrating down, sitting down in different positions. That's a prostrate. But to prostate is actually an organ, and that is, you want to know the difference between the two. Okay. All right. So let's get back. When you're eating too fast, you swallow the air, and that can cause your bloating and your gas. And slowing down to properly chew your food helps you to break down large particles of food into smaller particles, aiding in digestion. Now, one of the things that I used to get when I ate too fast was that I bit my lip. So what causes lip biting? Now, you first of all, slow down. Understand where your food is in your mouth. In some cases, it causes the psychological, like some people psychologically feel that when they're eating, it helps. So they end up overeating because a lot of times they're resolving in their mind or responding to emotional states such as stress and anxiety. Physical causes of lip biting include your teeth alignment issues, and also there's an overbite or underbite. That's all caused the malocclusal. Occlusal, you heard that, the male occlusal. So male occlusal, this include that overbiting and the underbiting. And you can talk to your dentist more about that. Okay, let me see. It's that time that we got to get out of here. We're gonna stick to that hour as I promised you, and we really appreciate you being here. This has been great, and take away something from this today. Make sure that you take away, some of the news that right to. You want to take this. You want to put this news into action. You want to use it for yourself and your loved ones. And we're going to bring Carolyn up
up here. Come on up, Carolyn, up on stage. All right, there you go.
Hello.
Carolyn, you want to go ahead and turn yourself off? I just was thanking everybody. Thank you so much for being up here, Carolyn, as always. And thank you, everybody, for coming. Take something out of what we said today. Slow down if you're eating fast. Make better choices. If you're going to have smoothies and you're going to have juices, well, now I gave you some alternatives. Along with that, the pros and the cons. Carolyn, you want to go ahead and maybe fill in a couple of blanks here?
Yes, absolutely. Well, there were some comments in the chat that I just wanted to highlight. One, let's see here from Shirley said, just had a patient this past week that's been juicing for some months solely. His A1C went from 7 to 12. He thought he was being healthy. He was mostly juicing fruit.
Wow. Yeah, that's thank you for sharing that. The hemoglobin A1C, everybody, is actually the test that is taken over. They combine 90 days, and they can tell you from the results of this test how much sugar is in your blood. This individual that Nurse Cheryl Lee is speaking of went from a 7 to a 12. And that is diabetes plus. You want to stay down to 4.7 or less. 4.7. If you reach 5.7, you already have diabetes. You see, a lot of times, there's a pre-diabetes there, but everybody is pre-diabetic. That just means before you get it, but that's pre. But that what happens is when you continue eating like big loads of spaghetti and noodles and different pasta, penne, when you're eating piles of that, then you are susceptible to having high sugar reports because that food is broken down to sugar. Those are called complex carbohydrates. Eating a small amount, no problem. Eating a large amount, big problem. Okay.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to what's the next one, Carolyn?
Yes, from a Yolanda. She said I overdid my vitamins, which also caused my kidney stones, zinc and vitamin C. I was taken during COVID, but she overdid it. So just making sure to keep up with not overdoing it. When you mentioned you can overdo anything, you can even overdo water, as one of those things that people look at as something that's good for them, but you can definitely overdo it.
Thank you very much. This is really, especially Yolanda. Yolanda has been doing really wonderful, and I know that if she says that she's been, she found out a couple of things that can help you, it's good to listen to her because she is in motion. Yolanda stays in motion. She takes care of her body. And I've seen just over about the last 3 years, Yolanda's always looked a certain way. She still got her little baby face, but she eats and she gets her exams and she adheres to, doctor's instructions. She makes the changes, whatever it is she needs to do to better herself. She's about that. So I think that, this is really important that we continue to celebrate those people that are leading us with great examples. And as we celebrate some of the people that are helping us in other ways here during Black History Month. Care.
Absolutely. I have one last question, and it's from Denise Kane. She said, would fresh fruit juicing benefit the body better than frozen fruit juicing? Frozen is easier on the wallet. I can understand that, but yes.
Okay. Yes, the fresh fruit, nothing beats fresh. But if you're going to store it, freezing it is very good. It's another option and it's still healthy even though it is frozen. So yeah, but that's a very good question.
And again, remember, like sometimes those bags are like 3, 4, 5 different strawberries, but that is a lot of stuff in there. So make sure that, again, a small amount. You don't have to get a large amount. And do this. I love that in the morning, even if I have a small amount. And sometimes I have a little more, a little less, but don't overdo it. Remember, you want to stay balanced.
Absolutely. That was great, Dr. Zarif. Thank you again so much. The information is always great, always learning something new. So I just want to say thank you for that. And thank you to everyone here that joined us here in the Mind of Nature. Our mission is to bring awareness, listen to your feedback. And now it's time for you to take action. For anyone that came in late, you can go ahead and watch the replays on YouTube. So it's Dr. Farid Zarif's YouTube channel. All right. So Dr. Zarif.
Thank you so much, everybody. And just want to invite you to go over to drzarif.com. If you want my services, you can go ahead and start scheduling them on drzarif.com. If there's any kind of way that we can help your church, your institution, your club, give us a call. We come out and we will speak and start helping people more and more. Thank you. Love you all and really appreciate you taking the invaluable time to be here with us today, as we'll see you not tomorrow, but we'll see you next week. And
next Saturday, 8 a.m.
Next Saturday it is. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And if it rains wherever you are, remember that it only does it a little bit. So enjoy it while it's here. Thank you so much. We love you. And we'll see you next week. Peace.